Hey guys, okay, so 4S and 6S truggies, definitely a thing here on the channel. I absolutely love the Habao SSC. It's been amazing truggy for me, and I've raced it, bashed it, kicked the living daylights out of it, upgraded it, found new parts for it, and had a whole bunch of fun. But I picked up a new car. Hey guys, Vorza S Truggy Flux from HPI. Has this got the potential to knock the SST off his perch? Come on then. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to ChriswithaC. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for joining me today. Now, many of the keen-eyed on the channel have actually seen the little Easter egg at the bottom of here on many of my videos recently, and it's for good reason. I was eyeing up this truggy for a while. I want to say a massive thank you to Wheelspin Models for aiding me in purchasing this 6S truggy. Guys, they gave me, now just for the full clarification here, they did give me a little bit of a discount on the truggy and helped me obviously get the truggy to me in 24 hours, I think it worked out as. A big shout out to Simon, Nick, and all the other guys who have answered the phone to me. Guys, you're looking at a 6S truggy, 1/8 scale, and it's got the potential to be one of the best truggies that I possibly own. Now, as I mentioned, I am late to the party on this one, and it was just something I kind of kept looking over and thinking, well, at some point I will pick one up, And recently, when I was looking on Wheelspin Models, I did notice the older version on there, and they had it for £336. Now, when we were at Heatherton racing around, as I do on the channel, I noticed one of them by a friend of mine called Adam, and he had one there, and it was honestly very decently quick around the track that we had. Guys, we're not professionally racing or anything like that. We are just bash racing. And I'm in an R-in, you know, do I bother picking it up? You know, is this something I'm going to enjoy? And then my eyes scrolled past this, and I thought, well, Vorza. Okay, so the red one came up. Now, these come in 3 models. You've got the Vorza S, which are both electric, and then you've got the Nitro version as well, guys. All 1/8 scale truggies. But the Vorza S is the one with all the bells and whistles, all right? And I've already been looking at upgrades as well. Just like everything else I do on the channel, guys. Now, last HPI we had on the channel, I think, was the jump shot. And it's been a while since I've actually looked into some of the HPI truggies and buggies and that sort of thing. And I kept looking at the Savage, you know, we've gone through the whole monster truck thing recently. And I just kept going back to this. I thought, you know, it's a very, very nice looking truggy for a start, and the colours popped. You know, it's kind of definitely along the lines of what I enjoy. What I want to do for you today, guys, is unbox this. I'm going to want to give you my first thoughts as I'm unboxing it and tell you, even though we're a couple of years late to the party, is this still worth possibly picking up? Now, I'm not going to be doing the run-in footage in this video. We're literally just going to do the first thoughts, and we'll go through what's on the car and go from there. Guys, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try a new camera angle in this video, okay? I'm going to see if we can do a top above unboxing. So I'm going to set the camera up for you now, and we'll come back straight back. How's that? Right, guys, so welcome back a second. HPI Vorza S Truggy Flux. Hell of a name, quite a big name. As you can see, you've got the box art at the front here. Now, one thing I will say straight out of the box, and I hope you're liking this, you know, I can see my hands now, but if you're kind of into your box art, and I am someone who kind of looks at box art, I like to keep hold of them. I do love the HPI box art. It's really, really sort of eye-catching. So as you can see, we've got the green. Now, the funny thing is they do only come in green in the Vorza S. All right. Your 64 mile an hour is what they're claiming out of the box. It's on a 6S Lipo. Full hobby wing electrics. You've got these new HPI 8-spoke. When I say new, now bearing in mind, as I mentioned, this truggy is a couple of years old, guys, okay? So newish, should we call it? Newer than the last model. That's probably the best way of looking at it. These Voodoo tread 8-spoke wheels and tyres. You've got HD chassis parts, all right? 7075 chassis parts all the way through the car. And that's one of the things that kind of drew me towards this Truggy. Adjustable battery box, ready for 4 and 6S lipo, big bore shocks on there. So as you can see, 4-wheel drive, factory assembled RTR, 2.4 gigahertz system in here, which is quite normal. What else we got on the box here? It's just pretty much the same thing. Now, I am going to open up this box for you guys. I want to say a huge thank you to, as I mentioned, to the guys at Wheelspin for hooking me up with this. I wanted to get this on the channel for some time, and today's that day. Now, I'm quite excited about this, guys. I am quite excited about this. I'm not going to lie to you. Let's try and open this up here. There you go. Okay, so lifting the box up. Oh, obviously greeted with the Truggy itself. So just put the box over there. In here, you actually get an update. Well, that's handy. As you can see, you actually get some 7075 hinge pin holders there, guys. So they actually entitled it Update as well. So it's interesting. What they're including in the box is an upgraded hinge pin holder set for you, which to me, that's awesome, because normally you've got to buy these. So, you know, big shout out to HPI for actually including that in the box. So I didn't even know anything about that. So that's something really interesting to me. You know, props to a company that will rectify any issues that might appear on their vehicle. So that's pretty cool. I like that. That's a little kind of Easter egg for me. I thought that was great. As you can see, you got the Truggy. As I mentioned, here's a 1/8 scale Truggy. You've got a handset there. We'll go into that in a moment. In fact, let's have a quick look, shall we? So this is, I believe, the TF50 RTR handset. Now, one thing to mention, all right? When the last HPI handset, which I think was the TF40, might be the TF41, I'm not sure. I was actually a big fan of that, to be honest with you, with the jump shot. I never ever really had an issue. They've got this drop down steering wheel here, okay? The steering feels kind of light, but I really like the previous generation of this, so I know they updated this. You've got a channel 3 switch there. Obviously this kind of stealth looking wheel there, all foam. On off button, very much like some of the Armour handsets, as you can see here. All this is rubber as well, so what you can do, yeah, there's rubber there, rubber on the edges there, rubber there. So yeah, I like that actually, to be honest with you, because if you're putting the handset down on a piece of concrete or floor or something like that, it does look like it's got a little bit of support. And now the other thing to mention, I've just noticed here, you could, or can, I should say, adjust this for a left-handed driver as well. So obviously the wheel will then flip over on this side, allowing you to use the handset in sort of left-handed configuration. The trigger feels very nice. Actually, a nice bit of tension on the spring there, to be honest with you. And then you've got this, let's just, for your peel addicts out there, there you go. You've got this kind of smoked look there, all right, obviously, which underneath then you've got, let's have a look. I think I need to put my glass on. Let's put my glasses on. Have I got them here? That's the question. No, I haven't. Okay, we're going to deal with it. Anyway, let's crack on. We have bind button. You've got your steering dual rate. You've got your steering trim and throttle trim. Then you've got your channel, obviously, and then your channel reverse switches at the top. All this is included. It takes, by the looks on things, what we got? 4 AA's. Is there any way of putting a lipo in there? No, there's not. But really nice feeling handset, actually. And I quite like these HPI controllers. Out of all the RTR controllers, it's also got this nice bit of rubber textured grip there as well. So yeah, really nice handset. Oh, and a lanyard. sort of loop there as well. But really nice RTR handset, these. Very, very comfortable to use as well. So I will probably keep this on the car, to be quite honest with you. I think I'll probably use this. Mainly for two reasons. One, I've run out of receivers right now, so being sort of completely honest. And two, I generally like the feel of them. So yeah, I like that. That's cool. Then you're obviously greeted by the Truggy itself. Now, in the box, obviously, let's just get the cardboard out. And you have got yourselves some little bits and bobs, which we're going to go over in a second. Let's remove the box and put the car on there. Oh, by the way, guys, huge shout out to Tyson from Garage Life for doing me my little subscribe button there, guys. I really like this. It's also backlit as well. So a huge shout out to Tyson for sending that over from Garage Life. There is a link in the description, guys, where you can pick up all your Garage Life parts. And there is a little discount code using ChriswithaC 10 at checkout. So first impressions are, now I was a little bit worried about the tyres on this car, okay? I did wonder whether these were actually going to be grippy. But the feel of them, let's take a wheel off actually. Where we to? Let's take a tyre wrench. Okay. I got to say, it feels very much like a SSTE. So you've got what they call the HPI or treads tyres. Obviously, these are rotational as well, as you can see. They're the Voodoos. Looks like they've got a decent sort of offset on them. Now, you could swap around a different set, but these have a fair amount of cushioning. There's plenty of foam in them. Are they vented? Yeah, unfortunately though, the one thing I will say, they are vented from the rim and not the tyre. So I will probably seal that up with a little bit of Gorilla Tape and possibly put some vent holes on the outside. That will allow for expelling the water out of the tyre. But yeah, quite impressed with that. Tyres are nice. They've got a decent amount of grip to them as well. So yeah, really nice, really nice. Now, the first thing I noticed by you guys as well is HPI has actually gone for a traditional steering setup, not like a pillow ball. So obviously you've got your steering hub there and obviously a caster block. Now, I'm hoping that that's going to be strong. I do believe that HPI sell 7075 upgrades for this. So that would be nice. Maybe that's something we can do in a video. Now, guys, just to kind of put this in perspective as well, I have got a bunch of 7075 parts coming for this vehicle as well, from a gentleman in Japan who runs a business making HPI upgraded parts by the name of Draco Precision. We got in contact and asked if he could sponsor a video. And, you know, we're going to go from there. So looking at the bottom, you have got this really kind of nice looking 7075 chassis. Big stout arms there with lots of webbing as well. Suspension feels like there's possibly... Yeah, I might look at the suspension though. It does feel like they might need a little bit of oil in them shocks. You have got a nice big bumper on the front here. And then this is something I actually appreciate, because a lot of us bashers, all right, will want a bumper on the front of their truggies, because, you know, when you land, you want something you can land, and that will take the brunt of an impact rather than, obviously, your chassis, your shock tower and everything else. So let's just get this body off, shall we? Be interesting to know how I do it, man. 2 seconds. I gotta say, man, these colours, wow, they don't half pop. It's got this kind of matte look. Let's have a look. Okay, traditional body pin setup, you know, not clipless body. There you go. Take that off. I've been looking forward to getting my hands on this one, actually, to be honest with you. So, the body itself, guys, as you can see, all right, it's got obviously the Vorza S design on there. Reasonably thick plastic. Actually, it's quite thick, that. Yeah, so what I might actually do, the only thing I will say, though, does feel a little bit weak there, so possibly a little bit of Gorilla Tape or shoe glue or something like that there, and maybe a little bit across the front here. Nice design to it. As you can see, it's got that kind of stealthy look here on the front of it. Nice pattern. Obviously, you've got like these matte greys, and then obviously the glossy part is obviously done in the green. So nice that HPI have done that. Very smart looking body. And then you've got the car, guys. So this is what we've all come for, as you can see. Very, very smart looking buggy, this. Traditional, obviously, motor one side, battery another. Deans on there. Unfortunately, that is something I will be changing, because I don't like Deans on any of my cars that I could possibly run 6S. Now, it does look like the battery tray is designed for 2.3S batteries here, so hence why they've done that. Steering servo is a 25 tooth, obviously traditional servo. It's the SP40WP, so I'm not sure what that actually stands for. I think that's possibly... I'm not sure what the kilogram is on that one, but I will have to check. 2200 kV motor. It looks like a 4268 motor, as you can see. And what they have done is included a space there, an aluminium heatsink that's built into their motor mount for you to add a fan there. You've got the 8BL150 G2 Hobby Wing ESC. Now, these are actually pretty good. They tend to last really, really well, with an updated power button there as well. 7075 towers on the rear. All right, there, as you can see, 7075 chassis. We've also got 7075 Ackerman plate there, and a traditional bell crank and servo saver. Now, they do have sort of, if you see in there, guys, this it looks like a plastic retainer over the top of a plate. I got a feeling of, obviously, that is the reason why they've included these. Obviously, is, you know, that's going to be hell of an upgrade. So it's nice that they're in there. The one thing I have noticed here, mind, is the front of the car seems to wallow down a little bit. So I might have a look at sort of making the suspension a little bit firmer, because it's unusual that the front of the wheels are kind of sitting with the drive shafts sort of like upwards. Very much looks like it's going to be easy to adjust as well. Is that an adjustable motor mount? I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. I'll have to check that over. Aluminium shock caps, obviously large, big bore shocks there as well. Overall, very kind of impressed the way it looks, mind. Very, so you've got the big stout wing on the rear, and that is nicely flexible, as you can see. Just turn the car back over. Traditional, obviously, turnbuckles. Looks like they are some sort of metal. I'm not sure what the metal that is. I would imagine it's some sort of aluminium or steel, or yeah, steel actually. Turnbuckles. Centre diff obviously on the car as well. Now I will have a look in the instructions in a moment to find out what size pinion and spur we got on there, and then your traditional battery box, not battery, receiver box, should we say. So which is inside here. I don't know how you get this out. Bear with me. It doesn't actually allow me to, so I've got a feeling that's actually caught underneath there. Aerial is tucked inside. Now, I don't think, from what I can remember, that the HPI electronics need changing out. I've never... on... What car did I have? The Jump Shot. Now, the only issue I had with that was the one that I picked up had a brush motor. But I changed it over for the Flux version, and I tell you what, it didn't half fly, guys. Overall kind of footprint of the vehicle, let's just get the about SSTE. If you can see, guys, I'm going to put this straight over the top here. So they're pretty much identical in size. In fact, they are. So the actual... No, I tell a lie, the Vorza is a little bit longer. So yeah, the Vorza is a little bit longer than the SSTE. I'm very impressed with this, actually. I'm going to change the camera angle a sec, and then we'll do some close-ups and go from there. But the first impressions of this truck is I am going to need to do a little bit of suspension tuning here, I think, because the front end droop here is a fair amount there. As you can see, I'm having to lift the car up, and the back is also the same. It does sit kind of low. Now, whether they've done that to kind of lower the centre of gravity on the chassis to help with handling, I'm not sure. Anything to point out? Oh, sway bars front and rear, and they're nicely loose as well. Differentials, obviously, and the differentials in there are a hardened spiral cut gear as well. So that, you know, it's nice that they've included that on the Vorza S. Now, I don't think you get that on the standard Vorza. But overall, it's a very nice looking... you got, obviously, these side plates here to stop some of the dirt and muck getting in the car. Now, they're a little bit shallow, so maybe we could have a look to see if we could find something a little bit deeper. All hex hardware right the way through the car. Yes, it is an adjustable motor mount. There you go. Thank God for that. I was wondering then if it was. But yeah, overall, guys, very, very happy. I had someone ask me about this the other day. Let me just quickly show you something. Why is there different screws? All right. And they do this on the Techno kits as well. It's because one is clockwise and one is anti-clockwise, okay? So the screws will be, one of them you'll need, obviously, to tighten up, go clockwise. And to tighten up maybe on this shock, you need to go anti-clockwise. It's just something that a lot of companies do to stop the nuts coming loose. But yeah, I'm impressed with that. I think it's very nice looking. I'm going to change the camera angle. I'll come back to you in a second. Right, just before we do, guys, I want to quickly show you what comes in the box with the car as well. So obviously you've got your TF50 handset, as we mentioned. You also get a hex tool. So obviously that will allow you to do some of the nuts up on the car as well as the wheels. So nice that you've included that in the box. You've got some typical... I know these will get you out of a pinch. What I will suggest you is get yourself a decent quality set of drivers, whether it be MIPs or maybe like I like using my method screwdrivers. They always are very, very good. Never had any issues. You've got some different shock pistons for tuning, as you can see here. So that's good that they've included those. Might look into that, because that might possibly be the reason why the shocks are a little bit wallowy. Maybe we could change those over. You also get some servo horns for your 23 tooth and your 24 tooth, as well as the 25 of us on the car. And you get a brand spanking new pack of AA batteries. The only thing it doesn't come with is a 6S battery or a 4S battery plus a charger. So it's nice that obviously they're included. Now, you also get in the manual, guys, as you can see here, you get your manual, which, let's move all this out the way a second. Okay, so you get your aerial tube. So I probably will go round about sort of this amount here. And that's what I'll run on the vehicle. I like to have a little bit more aerial out so I don't struggle with any signal issues. You also get your manual. Now, one thing I did notice is how good the HPI manuals are, okay? When I was working on the jump shot, I never had an issue with the manuals that came with the car. Obviously, a little bit of information going through there, connected your battery, so on and so forth. It's all laid out really nice. Your basics on setting up your car, temperature, checking the temperatures. What else we got here? Let's have a look. So they give you a maintenance guide as well. You know what to look out for. Every time you come back, kind of just go over how to reglue your tires, gear meshing. What pinions, are you even down to your gear ratios? Let's have a look. So the pinion that comes in the car is a 15 tooth. All right. And the spur gear is a 52. So they do also allow you a 48 tooth spur as well, should you want a little bit more speed. Shock tuning, everything else, obviously showing you. It's funny though, because if you look at that page by there, they actually show you the suspension flat, whereas the car is laid down a little bit more. Standard shock oil is 500, so we could up the weight on the shock, so that's pretty good. I think I've got some different shock oils. Yes, I have. Differentials, 5,000 at the front, 100,000 in the centre, and 5,000 at the rear. So I might possibly go 10, maybe go keep it at 100 and leave 5,000 in the rear, or maybe even just go up to 7,000 on the rear. I want to try and keep this buggy truggy light, guys. I want it to be kind of more for ground bashing. No, this isn't going to be something I'm going to be jumping a lot. I've got plenty of trucks for that. So yeah, really nice manual. Really nice manual. And your guarantee information. What they also include, you guys, is join my HPI today. It's an app you can download. So it's nice that they've obviously included that as well. And your warranty. Right, let's change the camera. Right guys, so welcome back. What do I think of the HPI Vorza S Truggy Flux? Well, really, really nice offering, okay? Few little caveats. Obviously, there's something I'm going to need to look at is obviously the tuning for a start. I'm not overly happy with the way the car's sitting. I'd like the arms to be kind of straight. So the drive shafts are not kind of up like this. But spec-wise, I really like the body. I think the body is absolutely beautiful. It's a funny thing to mention, actually. Something I didn't notice earlier on is I love the way the back of the body slopes up towards the wing. So that's nice, you know, the way that that's all designed. I will need to add some strengthening, I think, to the back of the body here. Maybe a little bit of Gorilla Tape around the shock towers. But overall, the body feels quite sturdy. And with truggies, guys, what you got to remember as well is because of the profile of the vehicle, they don't often get too wrecked. That's one thing I will say. So, you know, that's nice. The body is a beautiful looking thing. And I do like the matte on gloss kind of look all the way through the car. Specs wise, decent shocks. For a start, you've got I think they're 16mm, they're big bore shocks. 7075 tower, 7075 chassis, hinge pin holders, Ackerman plate. They've included with the car obviously an update as well, so that's nice that HPI have gone that one step further to make sure that the car is a decent car, because like I say, here in the UK the price is around about £500, so it's quite expensive, but then I suppose that's on par with many other brands in the price point. Hobbywing electrics. Now, yes, all right, it is an older ESC on the car, so you have got the 8BL 150. But these are very, very good. I've never had one of them go down on me, so it's not a bad thing, all right? I would have liked to have the extra BEC rather than 6 volts, maybe something like 7.2, 8.4 is obviously for the large cars. 7.2 would be nice. So the only time I think I would need to change that out is possibly because of that reason. Now, bullets on the motors, they're actually 6mm. That was something I noticed when I was doing it all. Cable management is nice. Would have liked to have seen different connectors. I'm not fussed with Deans. I'm surprised that obviously a manufacturer's using Deans on a 6S car. Center diff and everything, and all the diffs I am going to tune. So what you will see from the channel is I'm not going to go into this too in depth. I'm going to tune the diffs. When I say tune diffs, I'm going to check them over, top the diffs up. I'll leave it on stock gearing for now. I'm possibly going to add a fan to the motor. When I do gear up, that is something I'm definitely going to make sure that there's a decent fan on there for a start. The overall layout is a typical Truggy, obviously. I like the fact, obviously, it's adjustable battery box. It's designed for 2 3S batteries to go side by side, and I've got plenty of 3S batteries, so that is a good thing. Front bumper, I like the fact obviously the front of the car is supported by this bumper there, nice and stout, something I noticed on the original Truggy Flux. Everything seems decent, you know. You've got 7075 chassis all the way through. I would possibly have liked to have seen metal hubs on the vehicle, but again, that's something I can obviously upgrade. But bearing in mind, shock towers and everything else is all metal out of the box. Now, that isn't... You normally get metal shock towers on a car of this kind of spec, right? But you don't normally get 7075 shock towers or a 7075 chassis. So there is, again, that one little step further. I think this is going to be excellent for ripping around, you know, on the floor. A little bit of jumping here and there, nothing major, no major air. I know I've seen guys on the internet doing so, and, you know, more props to them, but this isn't why I've got this car, okay? I picked this up, and I want to say huge thank you to Simon, Nick, and all the guys at Wheelspin. Guys, it is technically a sponsored video. I have purchased this with my own money. They've given me a little bit of a discount on the car. Obviously, and in return, obviously, I work with them on videos. The guys at Wheelspin, I'll put a link in the description where you can purchase one of these. excellent people, guys. When I went up and met them, you know, really, really nice bunch of people. And every time I ring them, it's also pleasant to talk to them as well. And I think that's half the battle as well, especially with model shops. You know, obviously getting correct information and also enjoy your conversation while you're having it. Arms and everything are nice and stout, so you know, I can't see them breaking in a hurry. Servo, I'm not sure what the spec of the servo is. I didn't find what the spec was in the manual, so I will look through that and try and find out some information. Overall, and one thing I will say, I'm not lying when I say this, out of the box, that for me is one of the best RTR handsets, the feel of it. For me anyway, I love the kind of pistol grip with the drop down steering wheel. I think that's absolutely awesome. I like the fact that obviously they've got these rubber things on there for supporting the handset, you know, stopping you getting knocked. Oh, it's got all the right dials you need to get your car, and obviously the fact you can put left-handed as well as right. Overall, impressed with the quality of the vehicle. Just a few little setup sort of tips and tricks I'm going to do with it. And I've got some tasty upgrades coming for it, guys, definitely. So it should make this pretty strong and formidable, that's for sure. Guys, I want to say a massive, massive thank you to each and every one of you watching all the videos. All the likes, shares and subscribes go on the channel. Honestly, humbles me. Every time I open up my YouTube Studio app and have a little look and see how the channel's going, it blows me away. I want to say a huge thank you. Guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do. It costs you nothing and means the absolute world to me. Till next time, guys, check the box for more videos. Stay awesome. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, all right?